What's up? We're rolling in this time.
2-3, this is Hitman 2-2.
Our problems are man-made, therefore they can be solved by man, and man can...
Ladies, gentlemen, kings, queens, everyone in between and everyone in New Orleans, my name is Cobra, and today we got ourselves a little bit of a review. I'm gonna try to go and keep it short here, especially since I didn't write a script, and also because there's already a game that pre-exists. So, I didn't write a script, so I fear that I'm gonna end up rambling. So let's get right into it. Escape from Tarkov, it really is one of my favorite games ever, and I'm not gonna lie, been through quite a bit over the past few months. However, I'm not gonna go and get into that. I'm simply here to go and talk about Tarkov's PvE zone. So, ladies, gentlemen, kings, queens, everyone in between, everyone in New Orleans, what is Tarkov PvE? Essentially, single-player Tarkov, but where instead of PMCs, you get yourselves NPCs that play the role of the PMCs. And that's basically the main difference. Otherwise, it's basically Tarkov through and through. So what do I think about this? Originally I wanted to go and get right into it, see how the game goes like right off the bat. But I thought it's more fair to go and pour some time into it, and as of June 16th, June 16th, 2024, in the year of our Lord, Anno Domini, I am up to rank, or level 22 in the game. So, I think I have more than, seeped a little time into it. So, what do I think about it? In, TLDR, it's good. It's just more Tarkov, but in a way, I don't like to say Tarkov Light, but it kind of feels like Tarkov Light, and in that sense, I mean that it's just slightly easier. It still has the atmosphere of Tarkov. It still has the combat, exploration, and tasks you have to do for Tarkov, so there is that, absolutely. And the only thing is that when it comes to the PvP, I see that PvP is a very essential part in the game's formula, where it's always that sense that someone somehow is always kind of watching over you, or is kind of stalking you could say, because it adds this little fear factor where you feel that it's oh, I have to go and get this job done, and if someone were to go and kill me, I have to go and restart my stuff, right? That is not as prevalent, because how it works is that PMCs, from my observations, are typically in specific areas. You would find them in an area instead of really wandering around, compared to scavs, which just wander everywhere. So you could always kind of see them in these certain areas. For example, if you were to go to factory, it would be in that center area, kind of where in that corner between the blue trash cans. They would be in that area, or they would be by the fuel tanks. Or a better example is at customs, where you would either find PMCs by the RUAF roadblock, the stronghold, if the goon squad isn't already there, or the new gas station. So that's a couple examples you got right there. And in a way, I find it that it's good, because it kind of relieves the stress off of the game, because one issue, not really an issue, but something that is just a part of the gameplay loop that in a objective, in a way that is objectively can get tiring, is that if you cannot be able to go and endure the hardships of the game, people will lose favor with the game. So to go and have these things, certain combat points, right? Let's say areas in which you will have to encounter let's say a PMC, and I'm gonna emphasize the PMCs here, Especially because, you know, like, again, scavs, they wander everywhere, so you can kind of, like, expect them to be everywhere. But in this case, PMCs are in set locations, typically, from my observations. So, it kind of, like, puts your mind into thinking, okay, I'm gonna have a fight here, so we're gonna square up in this area, right? So it kind of not to say that it's like Tarkov Light, and not that I think that it's a bad thing either. It's just that it allows people to kind of like just like click in, and it kind of like just relieves that piece of stress of being stalked. Some people like it. Some people like the aspect of like that aspect of danger at like every corner. You don't know if someone's gonna pop up, especially if it's a rat. So there's that. But at the same time, I think that PvE Tarkov gives an opportunity for people to actually kind of like properly enjoy the game because of how it's again, set locations for PvP. I could be able to go and either avoid it, or I could just face it head on, while I could still be able to go and do my stuff, which I think is good. So gameplay wise, it's just more Tarkov, but the way that they're doing PvP, sorry, I feel like I should be emphasizing that carefully. Is overall good, especially for the people that especially for the people that do not have the time or the dedication to play the game. Because I'm always one to say that Tarkov is a great game, but it's one of those games that you really have to go and dedicate your time to. It's equivalent to games like Rust or Warframe, where you really have to kind of like dedicate yourself to the grind, or else you'll fall short. And the other great thing about the PvE zone is that it doesn't have wipes. Because wipes, they erase all your progress, so it always feels like that you're always kind of like on a time limit to not only 100% everything, if you want to 100% everything, or if you just want to, like be ahead. Sorry, I feel like the sense to burp or hiccup is one of those things, you know what I mean? It's like, in order to go and be ahead of the crowd, because the moment that you fall short, you're gonna lose all your progress, right? Or it will be hard to reobtain that progress. So it's great because so I think PvE would be great for people like who kind of like just want the more quote unquote casual experience of the game, or for people such as like the weekend warriors who don't have time, or like they have to work a job and then they have to go and dedicate their time to this, but sometimes they don't want to, right? So it allows people to go and like kind of like almost like see the full experience of the game. And me, after playing for over 1,000 hours in the game, I want to think that I think I've had more fun on the PvE zone more than I've had with the PvP zone. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the PvE zone, but there is just like certain things such as like, again, game fatigue, like the constant time limit, sweats, other stuff I do not have to go and mention. So there's that. So really, it kind of like just the PvE zone, it really is something that it's like for the first time in a while I've actually enjoyed playing all the stuff. So yeah, there's that. And the only downside gameplay wise between it is obviously, unless you're playing like co-op, there is you can't encounter anyone else. So you're literally like all alone, unless you're playing with someone else that has PvE. So there's that. And the reason why I say that's like technically a downside, but obviously it's pretty obvious, is just because one thing that I feel is very special about Tarkov is the kind of like communal, or like the random encounters aspect of the game. You see that on my YouTube compilations of the game. It's literally just me meeting random people, whether it's in a scav run or if it's in a PMC run, it don't matter. And then it's like the way and how things play out is always fresh. And in a way, that is one thing that you're gonna miss with it. it's like the amount of, it's like, what do you call it? It's like, because sorry, I'm not finding the proper words, and I'm trying to go and make sure this is, going as quickly as possible. Just trying to get my thoughts all over my head. It's that, for example, like, it just feels like an everyday experience, you know what I mean? I don't want to go and, like, have to go and, like, relate this and say that, oh, Tarkov's relatable. No. It's just that aspect that it's like, you'll meet just some random person, you'll say, hi, how are you? And then all of a sudden, you two are, like, the best of friends, and then you never see each other again. Unless you friend them, but that's besides the point. They could betray you, they could be friends with you. It's always that thing that is, like, between the players and proximity chat. It's just like a visceral aspect that you don't really get in a different game, because for example, like, if you're playing Call of Duty and you have, like, the team chat, there is always that like, connection, right? In Tarkov, there's that just mutual area, and the chances of you to ever talking to each other are objectively slim to none. You could meet the most talkative guy, you can meet the guy that would end up, let's say, blowing your brains out as soon as you don't look. You could meet a PMC that is actually like a saint, or you could meet a PMC that is just as cruel as USEC. So it's that's just the one aspect that I'm gonna miss, and whether and however you interact with it is completely up to you. But just that connection, that personal connection, is gonna be missing. Of course, you could always go to the PvP zone, but it's just something that I like to go and, like, point out. Because that's just, like, the one aspect that you would miss. But at the same time, I can't really complain because, again, it is the PvE zone. I just wanted to go and, you know, like, put my thoughts out there. I even said to my friends that I really think that I'm probably just going to stick with single player, with, like, the single player mode, or PvE, because I just have more fun with it. But one thing that I'm going to miss is just interacting with people. Like, just that idea of a random encounter will just be missing, you know? So that's that could also be one of the reasons why I say that it's technically like you could say it's like a Tarkov light, but not in a bad way. It's just that you're going to be missing that aspect. It's more of like just those feelings. Now, all that out of the way, I am one to go and, like, try and see things in full, see the criticisms of things, as I always try to be. I tend to go and, like, sugarcoat it a lot, so I'm trying to do that less. So there is one major issue that I have that is a genuine problem with Tarkov's PvE, and that is the rampant server issues. I know BSG has said that they're trying to go and fix it. Make it, I give you the option for it to be client-side. But I want to think that the idea of having to implement a single-player mode and still have people be online and, you know, connect to a server to even play a match, I think is preposterous. Because I'm one to think, okay, you know what? Maybe it's for the interactive sections, such as, like, the flea market, where you have to buy stuff from other people. I can understand you may need a server for that. But trying to get into a match, just trying to play, is personally ridiculous to me. Like, over the past week, I have encountered so many server issues, where I would be waiting, where it's even on particular maps, especially, right? Especially Shoreline. I don't like, and for example, I only ever go to Shoreline to ever do the quests, but the amount of times that I've been disconnected after waiting for, like, 5, 10, 12 minute queue times just for me to get disconnected is really annoying, and kind of, like, just really kills the mood for me to play the game. I understand that they have server issues, but I feel that, and I know that they are, because they've mentioned this, but they really need to fix this server issues, because it really kills the vibe of me having to already wait minutes upon minutes just to go and play the game, only for that to be squandered, right? And the worst part is that every now and then, it would, whenever I get disconnected from the server, my game ends up crashing. And I have two incidents that really like makes this server issue very annoying. One time I was server disconnected after trying to get into a match of Shoreline, like 3-4 times, and by the time I ended up entering the game, there was only 7 minutes left in the raid. So obviously, I feel like that if it's in a single player mode and you are trying to connect, it should start from the top, right? I think it's like right now it's Shoreline is like what, staying at 40 minutes for a raid timer, right? That's reasonable. It's a big map. But I clocked in at 7 minutes only after being disconnected 4 times so that I could get to doing my task. Fishing gear, by the way. And another time, I was disconnected and reconnected. And on multiple occasions, when I tried to go and like press OK, my game straight up crashed on me. That I had to restart the entire game so that I could reconnect to my to the raid, and then only for me to go and confirm my leave. Fortunately, whenever I confirm leave, I still get my stuff back, right? Because I technically never really entered the raid. I just got disconnected so I could have the option to opt out, and I have all my stuff back, so I don't lose anything. That's great. But still, it doesn't deny the fact that I have been disconnected so many times that up to a point that my game straight up crashes. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a PC issue, because then again, I'm playing on a gaming laptop and I love it and all, but it's already starting to show its age. It's going on like 3 years now. But still, it is really frustrating. And again, it's a mood killer to constantly be disconnected when I'm trying to literally play the game, when I am trying to play alone. It is, and you know, sorry, I'm gonna stop myself there because it's I'm just gonna start looping my argument. But one more thing I'd like to mention is that one time, literally, I disconnected and reconnected, but my game pooked out so much that it literally blue screened my PC. I do not know if it's supposed to be a PC issue or a server issue, but regardless, because this has happened with the game, and because it is a cause, and I'm just, me personally, and I can be corrected on this, I will stand on that, I will be corrected on this if I'm wrong, but from my observations and my own opinions, I think that this is an issue with the game. So I know that they're trying to go and make the game give a client-side option, which is good, but I just say, they really need to get to working on this fast. Otherwise, it will completely kill the vibe. I consider myself a very patient guy, so I can personally wait. But I'm speaking on behalf of other people. You can kill the interest of a game if you literally can't even play the game because of these rampant server issues. Sorry, I did not want to go and make that seem like a bit of a rant, but I just want to go and make sure that my opinion is heard or apparent, right? And so yeah, that is mainly my issue. Other than that, Tarkov PvE is a good game. It's a good mode, you could say. So what is my verdict of this game? I am willing to give this game a 7.5 out of 10. Me, again, I love Tarkov to death. I did cosplays of the game. I literally made an entire OC on my TikTok, RTM by the way, it's cool, just based around like it's like a fan OC, right, of the game. It's like I love the game to death. I literally annoy my friends all the time about how much I love this game and trying to get them to play. So I do not want to go and make this seem like that I hate this game. Because I really do love it. I genuinely think this is one of the greatest games I've ever played. But these issues really cannot persist. Because I'm just gonna mention it briefly here. Judging by the past, it's a very rocky relationship. And I'm just saying that on behalf of the community, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I feel that the one thing that they need to fix with this game is the server issues. When they fix that, it should be smoother sailing from here on out. I know that it's always been an issue, but they really need to go and emphasize on how to go and on how to go and fix this. I don't know how, but I just hope it is soon. And I don't think that it's my place for the devs to go and say so, because at the end of the day, it is their decisions, right? So overall, that's gonna be it. If the server issues weren't a problem, I would say it would be like an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. But as of now, that will be my review. Maybe I'll go and make an update in the future. So, I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I say to y'all, ladies, gentlemen, kings, queens, everyone in between and everyone in New Orleans, my name is Cobra, and y'all have a beautiful day.